p.m. I hereby certify for the record that an executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IT 5-4-1.56.1b. We certify that the items discussed were related to information concerning issues that were posted on our executive session notice. An executive session was held prior to the meeting pursuant to IC 5-14-1.5-6.1. We certify that the items discussed were related to information posted on our executive session. Roll call voting record.
President Golfin.
Absent. Oh, President Golfin?
He can't hear us.
But he's participating.
He can't speak, so then we'll just excuse the vote.
Okay.
All right, Secretary Williams, present. Oops. That you
Oops. Okay. Board Member Baker.
Here.
Board Member Carr.
Here.
Board Member McKenzie.
Here.
Board Member Johnson.
Present.
Board Member Ruby.
Present.
Secretary Williams.
present.
Can you hear me,
We
Mr. Baker?
have 6 present. We have a quorum.
You will stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I so motion for the agenda approval of the board meeting minutes dated June 4th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
So moved and seconded the approval of the board meeting minutes dated June 4th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. So moved. All right. Moving right along, approval of special board meeting minutes dated June 24th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Approval of board meeting. Motion passes. Thank you. Motion passes of approval of board meeting minutes dated June 24th, 2026. Moving right along. Approval of exception to the GPTC general check register schedule dated May 1st through the 31st.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All right, no discussion, we'll take a vote. All in favor, say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say nay. With a vote of everyone saying yes and no one saying no, we'll go ahead and approve the exception of the GPTC general check register schedule dated May 1st through the 31st. Approval of the general check register schedule dated June 1st through June 30th, 2026. All opposed? Oh, I'm sorry.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Go ahead and we'll do a roll call for the check register.
Secretary Williams.
Yes.
Member Baker.
Yes.
Member Carr.
Yes.
Member McKenzie.
Yes.
Member Johnson.
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
We have a quorum. We have 6.
With no discussion and 6 yeses, the general check register schedule dated June 1st through June 30th, 2026 is so moved. All right, approval of GPTC Metro check registers.
Different day.
We've got a
So
general.
this is item 6. Item 6, which is, everyone see the item 6?
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good. Would you like to take a vote? Yes.
Secretary Williams.
Well, wait, go back. We need somebody to move in second.
You gotta move it.
Move to accept the check register.
Motion.
To accept item 6.
So,
Second.
Very good. All right, so we'll take roll call.
Which item are we on? Six.
Six.
Six, okay. Member Baker.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Secretary Williams,
Yes.
Member Carr,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Member Ruby.
Yes.
We have 6 yeses.
All right, the 6 yeses and no to 0. Item passes. Personnel report.
Secretary Williams, I move that the Board of Directors of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation authorize to separate the Director of Human Resources and Administration from employment with Gary Public Transportation Corporation effective July 9th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we need to take a vote.
Secretary Williams,
I would like to abstain.
Board Member Baker.
No.
Board Member Carr,
Yes.
Board Member McKenzie,
Yes.
Board Member Johnson,
Yes.
Board Member Ruby.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
With 4 yeses, 1 no, and 1 abstention. One abstention. We move to separate with the HR. All right, so now it's time for department reports. The first department we'll have is finance.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you guys? Long time no,
How are you?
good, long time no talk. So, the 2 items I brought
Just
to you
hold on one moment. Let me get this.
in your executive session, it's not gonna be in there.
Okay.
The 2
Yeah.
things we talked about earlier,
Okay. Okay.
just to kind of highlight, budget to actual. So for May, we brought in $852,000.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Vicky. Oh, you can give us a moment so that we can follow along.
Sure. Yeah.
And can you show us exactly what you're
It's the
reading?
budget to actual,
It's the long sheet.
long sheet, the big sheet. Yep.
Thank you so much.
So for May, the top section is revenue. So for May 2026, we brought in $852,371. We had a budget of 1.3 million, so we were $460,000 short, which equals about 35%. For year to date, through the first 5 months, we should have been, brought in 6.6 million. We've just barely touched 4.1, with a shortage of 2.5. Which is like 38% short of our budget. Then you go to the bottom and list of all the expenses. At the very bottom, it'll say our May expenses were 1.1 million. We had a budget of 1.3, so we came under our expenses by 245,000 or 19%. And then year to date, we budgeted spending 6.6 million, and through May we've only spent 4.5. Difference was just a little over 2 million. We were under 32% under budgeted expenses. Any questions in regards to the expenses or the revenue? All right, the second thing I provided you is the account payable aging. It's a list of all the billings that were out, or invoices that were outstanding as of June 30th.
What page are you?
Good one. Yep. It's got a little shade at the bottom.
With all this technology, we are killing so many trees.
I know. Yes, we are.
We really.
So as of June 30th, we had $262,608 of outstanding invoices. Of those, 122,000 were under review or dispute. One vendor, I just haven't paid, and they were, I guess, battling back and forth. But I turned over to our attorney to talk through that. Most of our billings are less than 60 days old. after we got our property taxes in, we were able to do a massive catch up at the end of June. So, right now, as of June, we had 76,000 outstanding. That was less than 30 days old. 30 to 60 days was 56,000, and then the majority of the 130,000 that was over 90 days is that one vendor. So, kind of highlight where we are on our bills as of June 30th.
I'm
Any
sorry,
questions?
yes, did this say that we have bills that are $130,000 on their 90 days past due?
Yes. But a majority of them are one vendor, and we have disputed that. And it's been turned over to our attorney to handle that dispute.
Do
Mr.
we have
Freaky,
any questions for?
how did these disputes come about, you know?
What?
I mean, what caused these disputes?
So from what I gathered, they were doing work that we didn't authorize. Or didn't, we had a procurement process through them. And then either the contract ended, but they continued, they said they did this additional work, and we have no proof of it.
Did they explain why they did work that wasn't authorized?
Shirley, do you know who prepared it?
That was authorized through the maintenance department without going through procurement.
One more question.
Sure.
So does this include all of the different vendors that we buy parts from?
This is if we've gotten the parts and they've given me an invoice. This is what we have currently in our system.
Okay.
If we're in the process, I don't know about it. This doesn't make this list until it's,
Okay, I do know that I've heard from management at the 35th, at the building on 35th, that they're having a hard time getting parts on many occasions
Mhm.
because of unpaid bills. So,
either it's
yeah.
either unpaid, or if we don't know about it, then I can't pay it. Which is also an issue. It'll be down at 35th and everything's turned into fine. And that was, I think Miss Baker is going to work on dressing, hopefully dressing.
Yeah, that's already.
Okay.
They know everything was going.
Go through procurement and it'll get financed and you'll get paid.
What-
That's over.
What's being done to address catching up on everything that they haven't turned into you?
Usually depending on the age, we'll immediately pay it. We have the money, we will turn around and pay it. So I've had
But
several
if you don't know
people,
about it.
as soon as I get it, yes, if it's like over 30, but we're gonna try to get it paid as soon as possible.
Right, what I'm asking is what is being done to actually find out what you haven't been told?
I would have to work with Shirley and some of it didn't even go through procurement, so there is no tracking. They just order stuff and
What do you see as the solution to that?
everything has to go through procurement. Period. Gotta go through no bypassing, no running to the parts store. Hang it out. And then get,
How are they paying for things without going through?
they either just run and pay cash and then they turn it in to us to have it paid.
Or
For reimbursement. Yeah.
Or-
Or the company credit card was used and
Credit card. So you're saying that people are bypassing the procurement process and requiring reimbursement?
yes,
When they come to you for reimbursement, what is your policy?
we just generally pay it because it's an employee. That's just the way it's always. Yes, so we need to start changing that.
That's the way it's always.
I know, I can't say that. I know.
Well, that's something.
Something we can work
So
on,
it
yes,
sounds like some re-education needs to,
yes.
SOPs, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your transparency. I really appreciate it.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? All right.
All right, thank
so
you.
much. We move on now to procurement.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, procurement report is going to be very short. I have only one item that needs to be addressed from the board, and that is the recommendation to purchase 3 ADA vehicles. For the sum of $450,753 through the state of Georgia using a piggyback. I submitted the recommendation that has been presented to the board for approval. Emailed you. And of course,
All right. So, when did you give that to? Are you finished? Are you doing?
yeah, and
Okay. And that is a piggyback recommendation How much longer?
to purchase 388 vans for $450,753.
Okay. And it's a piggyback, and my understanding of a piggyback is meaning that you got in on another deal, right?
With the state of Georgia.
With the state of Georgia. Okay. What is the time frame? How soon do you need this approved in order for us to be able to get?
Well, we've been trying to work on it for the last 6 to 9 months. So if you all could approve it, and we need vans, we need vehicles. Ms. Baker,
And Baker, what you said, we really need
Yeah,
those.
we definitely.
Is the money there to actually make the
We have,
purchase?
we have the 80% in federal grant, the 20% local funding that we have to. And it's a capital purchase, so we could use some of the opera funds that we have in reserve.
The federal funds are coming from a series of capital grants we already have in store. We're not even touching the 13 million that is in super grant that is going through the process right now. We'll put on that later on, but we've got so much federal money for the buses and the van.
Okay, so you're saying that we have the 20%
We
match,
have the 80%.
80% that we need.
We
We
have
need the 20.
20 in the opera funds from the city.
So we have the 80, and we have the 20. Is 20% already allocated towards something else? No? No. That's coming from Mr. Crick. Very good. Ms. Baker, what did you say? We need them. All right. And Mr. Wright, what did you say?
That the money's in grants and also that we need a van.
Executive team work together and make it make sense. If Ricky says the money is there, you say we need it.
That's not money that's going towards to get the electric bus.
All right. Thank you so much for your report. There's a motion that needs to happen.
I think the last time you did it on the new business to approve the recommendation. Yeah, I mean,
I gave it to her.
Oh, I see.
Here you go. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, next, we have marketing and grants.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Mhm.
All right. First of all, we'll start with ridership. The reported May ridership was the highest we've reported since before the pandemic. And
That's really good.
but yeah, the service delivery was pretty good in that month, and we had a lot of ridership. We had a lot of activity. June, the biggest issue with June was the weather. The first time I think in my 10 years here, we had to remove weekday service days because of weather in June. That's usually a December or January, February thing.
I'm so sorry. What do you mean by the what?
For one day, we did not have service because we had no power at 35th. And right, and for the BMX, because of the issues in the town of Maryville, in the middle of the month of June, I took another day from the BMX ridership and service because we just couldn't run the BMX for most of that day, even though other services were still out there. So I want to say 9% decrease between 25 and 26 for the month of June, but again, it's because of the weather. And the days that we did operate around or after those weather incidents were still lower ridership because people were still digging up and some people didn't have power. So even though it went down in June, it was still pretty strong, still probably the second highest daily ridership so far this year, with just fewer weekdays, to count. Lots of grant work, working with the finance department in getting $5 million in 2026 funds and a combination of transit and highway dollars in negotiating and having tugs of war with the Regional Planning Commission and the Commuter Transportation District. We're getting about $1.4 million in highway money that's being flexed over. And the reason why we're doing it as highway money is because we can apply that to our 80/20 operating as opposed to capital expenses or 50% operating. And that was something we pretty much had to insist on doing because they wanted to do it another way. We don't even get into that. But the letters and documents transferring those funds have already been made. I think I sent the two for the transit funds out to the team earlier today. The annual report, that's being finalized. We've got 3 presentations scheduled to discuss our 2024 and 2025 with stakeholders and the public. One of them is with the Regional Planning Commission. That's going to be in the month of August. Another is with a statewide agency. We're going to be doing that presentation virtually later on this month. If you don't or didn't receive a slideshow earlier this year that pretty much documents all of the information, I can resend that.
Is this like a state of the city, but for GPTC?
Yes, it's an impact report. As a matter of fact, before the state of the city, we actually put together a slideshow in case some of that information needed to go into the state of the city slideshow. But I will resend that.
Yeah.
I'll send it to Miss Scott, and she'll have it. She'll send it out to everybody. I don't know if everybody got it. And some of them may not have been board members when I sent that out. So just to be on the safe side, I will send that out again for everybody.
Okay, and where is the in-person meeting?
The Transportation Committee at the Regional Planning Commission is the first Tuesday of August, I think the 4th at 10 o'clock. And I'm working with Dominique for the Age Friendly Advisory Council to do that for the month of August.
Crossing holiday. That's really good.
Right. That's why we're on that committee. Right.
Okay.
Lastly, we had a lot of outreach events in June and July. Thank you very much, Ms. Williams and Board Chair Goffin, for being a part of the Independence Day rollout. And in that heat, I think the smartest people in that entire parade were the people who were sitting in the 6th Avenue bus shelter because they had shelter. Okay, they had shade. But also, especially thank you to Keisha and Riley and Troy and the operations department for getting those buses and Charlie out. So I really appreciate that help.
And I enjoyed riding, and I enjoyed the bus drivers. I learned about their day-to-day, what their days look like. I learned about their riders, and that they have the same riders every day. And some people are riding, they don't have anywhere to go. They just want to enjoy the bus. And that gave me a new appreciation. Say it again, sir.
95% of them are every day.
Every day. This is what we're here to do, and I'm excited about it. So I enjoyed riding the trolley. I stopped at the deal today, so it was good.
Great. Unless there are any questions, I don't have any actions or anything. So unless there are any questions on planning and marketing.
I just want to personally thank you and Mr. Fricky for getting operations a needed generator.
Oh, yes.
And thank you for identifying funding for that.
Oh, no problem. Yeah.
And I tell you, I love that you are leaving your silos and working together. It's perfect. Thank my job. Okay, so
How much did they find?
how much did you find, Mr. Wright?
I mean, I just found where the money could come from. I don't know how much was actually spent, but we actually had maybe 1 or 2 grants we could have used it from. And I recommended a 5339 grant because that's capital intensive.
We're still getting quotes, so I don't have the actual amount, but they're running somewhere between 70 and 80, but that's not including install. So we're probably gonna be looking around. We need to get
I have a question. What type of generator are you all thinking about putting out there? What type of generator?
a generator that's going to service the whole building.
Like,
It's not
like a
gonna-
generator, something like that?
Oh,
Yes, sure.
But when you look at what our colleagues at the South Shore are dealing with right now, resiliency is extremely important. And I keep telling Dorothy that, one day they're gonna have to cut me a check because of the number of times I have to tell their riders what's going on. Because they're still running a weekend schedule, and they're still busing between a couple of their major locations because they still haven't cleaned up that resilience is extremely important. One thing I wanted to do when Keisha and I and Ryan sat down is see what they needed to do to prevent Riley having to sit with drivers because he couldn't feel them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The storms that come, having a generator is really a game changer. Thank you for doing that. Next, we have operations.
Jason. Well, with that said, well, with Mr. Wright, I'm gonna piggyback a lot off him from for the month of June, we had 21 work days. Out them 21 work days, you had the total work days trips are like 6,290. Your total 70 Saturday week trip was 640. But this way it comes in that most of your total missed trip for the weekday is like 220 missed trips. That comes from missed trips. Even though we didn't have no power, now you still have to count them trips because they're supposed to be on the street. So when you add that up to that 2 days, you got that one day was all day. Then you had a half a day to where we finally got power back on that we was able to put. We already had like 6 buses that was filled, but the other ones weren't filled up. So on them routes that we got them filled up, you had to accumulate the missed trips and that was we like that from the bad weather. We had like about a whole day and a half missed trips, just because power, and then certain trips like we even talking about Maryville, you missed a lot of trips because you just couldn't get in and out of there until we discovered which way we could get short ways to make some, get in and out of there from the back roads. So, but you still was missing trips. So, but from that whole month, it was 220 missed trips. And in the month of June, we had 2 accidents. One of them was wasn't our fault. The other one was. It was just property damage to the vehicle. Wasn't nobody hurt or anything, but so that's what you see on that way you say for accident with procedure. That's what the time that you get from the accident that person had from a procedural perspective. The complaint for the month of June, we had 1 complaint, and it was a personnel complaint. Always try to, when complaints are important because you just get to the point to where what is your drivers doing out there? You get the backlash when you get the complaint. You can tell them, and so when you investigate them, you get back with the people and let them know what you discovered or whatever, and then try to make them as comfortable as possible. But
Now, when you say personnel complaint, are you saying that a rider had a complaint against one of our? Okay, and you're saying you take that there?
Yes, yeah, you have to, because if you out there mistreating the public or whatever they saying you're doing this, you got to follow up on that just to make sure this is not happening. Because if you did it to this one, you can do it to somebody else. So you want to make sure you
Treating everybody
the same. And that's basically other than paratransit is starting to pick up again. Paratransit is starting to pick up again. So I did this month of June, I did 4 applications, certifications, and this is, if you look in that second row where you say the miles that them vehicles use for paratransit for the month of June and the revenue miles, and then your deadhead. A lot of people say, what's the deadhead? When you drop a person off, you got to accumulate the time that you drop the person from there to go to the next person. So you got to accumulate them mileage in that where you get your deadhead from. So then when you when you're doing the paperwork on this, you would say, well, okay, 6,000, your total vehicle mile was 6,000 something, and then your revenue mile that you get paid for the revenue mile, and you subtract that by that, that's how you get that, your total, dead amount. That's all basically I have, other than,
Okay. And then what are you reading from? Do we have the copy of what you're reading from?
this,
Yeah, it's in.
Send your back.
in your package. Now, thanks.
Hopefully.
Here you go.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
It's under transportation.
It's under trans-
Mhm.
I just would like to read along with you. So
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
if there are- I
No
make sure
problem.
I'm reading along with you.
Any questions?
Mr. Riley, I have a question. How
Yes,
many, during the month of June, how many buses were down?
For the whole month?
Yeah.
You include your mistress along with that. On certain days, some days you have all of them out there, and then certain days you might have 2 or 3 out. So you get some back up. Especially at the time when, like recently, when weather got down real high, you had vehicles that were down because of heat.
And how many we had down because of maintenance problem?
That's what I'm talking about, for equipment. Okay. Yes, yeah, you had 2 or 3 of them now, 3. I say 3 mostly every day for that month, for June.
Thank you.
Now, where on your report does it say the number of, or is that not your report?
No, that would be in the maintenance, they in the maintenance.
Okay.
Report. But that part of it is, things happen, when you ain't got no spares to put on the street, something go down till they get something fixed up. That's how it is.
One other question, there was a question that came up, we had a hot spell, what about the air conditioning on the bus?
Yeah, we still got, we got about 3 or 4 buses still with no air on them. And they go that air thing they say is down, they still trying to get it.
Blow motor.
Yeah, the blow motor in the thing for to put the freon and stuff in.
Mhm.
They waiting on that, they putting in for the request for that.
Compressors.
Okay, I just have one little small request, and I was on the trolley, I was really fun, I enjoyed myself, but it was extremely.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that we used to have a fan, because the fan was still there, it just was not operational. Why don't we have fans on our buses? Is that
On the
not-
regular buses, not no pants on them buses.
You know, like a
But
little,
I know on
yeah,
the trolley, you should have that little one that was right there on the trolley, but on the regular buses, there's no, fans on.
I think it's something.
One more question for you. So out of all the buses that got shut down and all of the employees that complained about the buses that didn't have heat, how many of those buses had a previous report written on them stating that the air conditioning wasn't working?
I can't answer that, but I'd get with Mr. Briggs, the maintenance, I'd let ask about it and then I get back with you.
To me, that presents a bit of a safety issue when you have people on a bus that are 107 degrees.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But if nobody's checking these buses,
They checking them when they
check the air conditioning, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm talking about
That's what I'm
maintenance.
asking.
What I'm saying, I see what you're saying about Mr. Ruben, but when they leave out of there in the morning or whatnot or whatever, they got, we might not have no air, but we put them on the street. When they heat up or something, the driver said they are hot, they won't drive. We pull them in. That's the only thing you can do.
I think what he's looking for is more so, being proactive.
Yeah.
So for example, at the end of your ride, as opposed to the beginning, the day before, if there's something wrong with your bus, do you have a report or something, a checklist that says simply the air didn't work here?
Oh, yeah, they know, we know what buses that don't have air on them, yeah.
And you have a checklist
Yeah.
for each bus driver at the end of their route, they say, my bus didn't work, my mirror is missing. my
Yeah. You
Is
have that to well,
So the question is did these drivers report before it was 107-degree day that the air conditioning didn't work, or did they report after?
they get on the radio and they tell you, with my ass now, when they doing their preacher, they get on the radio and say they felt about working, their bus do not have no air. Or
And that's
whatnot.
before.
So management actually knew days beforehand that the air conditioning wasn't working.
So it's just that we didn't. Well, then,
Because we,
That's what I'm at.
that's what we said, they ordered the stuff for the academics, but to get in here, we ain't gonna let the bus sit. You know, they get out, they just have to, we put up the line.
what is the turnaround from saying the air conditioner does not work on my bus to we have to order the parts, we have to do whatever, and we need to get this fixed? What's the time that goes?
It depends.
There's a whole process.
Just depends on them getting that, yeah, they get
We want to
that.
get to that process. That's what-
And here's an even more proactive question. How many buses every summer go down for the same reason? And why are we not buying the parts that we need a year in advance, knowing that every year we need that same amount of parts? If we go through 4 compressors every year, should we not have 4 compressors in stock
Correct.
at all times?
I thought now we should be looking forward
Right.
to, well, what are we doing this winter when it comes to the heat on the buses? Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Last question, what's the status of our electric buses? Are they holding up pretty well?
No, we got one electric bus on the street.
Five. How many we have? 5? 4? And only one?
Just one is workable right now.
Yeah, the electric bus is bad for hot and cold.
But you got,
So bad here.
they just, that's, but ever since we got the electric buses, they've been problems, you know, because it's just, winter months and ain't good for the area because of the weather.
Do you think they worth having?
Until the truth.
No, but how you get them is, it costs the company that much money, that's how you end up getting them. Through that Volkswagen thing, so you know, they almost getting them to you, so you have to, you accept.
Thank you so much.
Seems like there's more trouble than that, and it didn't work.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Moving right along. Human resources. Okay. Moving right along. IT department.
You need your report?
No, I got some notes here.
Okay.
Okay, IT, network is stable across facilities. Cybersecurity monitoring is active. We've spent time getting the MIS director onboarded underway and to strengthen the internal oversight and reduce the vendor dependency. Wi-Fi upgrades have been complete in both locations, phone coverage now in all locations. We have our security improvements. Gate camera is now recording locally. So now when someone comes to the gate and they hit the doorbell, it works the same as a Ring doorbell, or dispatch can see who's coming in so they can open the gate remotely. And those incidents are now being recorded. So it'll do the same thing as your Ring camera. We have a Ricarda demo coming up this month. We will be speaking with it, and Ricarda is a cloud-based camera company. I tested those a few years back, but now that the camera is in discussion again, we will be having that discussion with them, and basically trying to see what it would cost to fit 4th Avenue and 35th. UPS. The UPS is the universal power supply. Found out that 32 things on 35th is that we had a power supply that went down. We had it replaced pretty fast. We got it replaced within about 48 hours or so. It's not going to be sufficient because in the last set of power outages, we found out that the facility is not mapped correctly. So when generator goes up, we have power in certain locations where we dispatch computers don't have power. But the phones are powered because they're, power over Ethernet. Procurement has power, but dispatch should be the first location. Dispatch and our server stack should be the first two locations to power up because those are the backbone of the facility. So those are not mapped. So but I think that will be resolved in the generator conversation coming up. The fare boxes. We are entering the phase. August will be the install of the fare boxes for the vans. And when we have those installed, prior to that, I am, as they say, knock on wood, I am looking to have us tap to pay by the end of next week. We found a workaround from running a VPN. So now we can port forward. One of the engineers contacted us last week so we can port forward, and we began opening the ports and things of that nature. So it's three entities that have to work together to make it happen: ourselves, GenFair, and our ISP. So we should have that up and running next week. And we still have a website that is waiting in dev stage. It's totally built. We just have to populate it and launch it, which hopefully we can launch all of that at the same time as the fare boxes and things of that nature. And that's all I have right now for IT.
Thank you so much. That's a big deal for us to have that tap to pay. So a lot of people do not bring wallets. Sometimes I forget. It's so convenient to just be able to use your phone to pay. What is the marketing looking like where we can get that information out that we are,
That would be
Once all of the buses have our quick fare boxes, we can start the big rollout. What I don't want to do is advertise a new capability that only half the vehicles can take advantage of. So there's probably going to be a two-phase rollout of the outreach for that. One for the tap to pay, as well as for the mobile app, which we want to have all the buses having fare boxes so we can do the tests for that before we do the hard launch. So the big tech advances in fare technology are waiting on that 100% capability for the fleet before we can really push it out. So we've been waiting for what we can push on.
And we're going to roll out approach. So we're going to attack the BMX first, get the BMX and running. The main thing is having it run. People will naturally tap to pay if they see it activated. That'll give us the space to test it, and then we'll roll it out officially.
really looking forward to you two working together. I can't wait to see the campaign that comes out when it comes to this technology and what we have to offer. Thank you so much for that. Ms. Scott Henry, can you step forward just one second? Scott Henry. Oh. Please forgive me. I am so sorry. Oh, no, please, no. You're fine, right?
Oh,
You
thank
don't
you.
have to come down. This is not
Good.
no. So you did mention, you said that you've known about that piggybacking program, but we didn't have that information in advance. The board did. Do you know was there a barrier to you getting us that information in
I
advance?
sent it to,
Please send it to us.
May I speak?
Sure.
I did receive the email. I saw it. Ms. Scott sent it to the HR director at the time, and the dates are June 29th, because I went on to see the staff recommendation. She sent it to all board members. And the problem that we're having is IT has set up the board members with the GPTC bus address, and some of them are not utilizing it. or it goes into their junk mail. But I did see her email to go out. It was June 29th. And if you don't want to use GPTC, excuse me, please, you have to let me know what to use.
I saw the email.
Mhm.
I saw the email from board members who said that they went to.
Okay.
Like 2 months.
Yeah, and that's what I tend to do. Sometimes I will send it to both addresses until I hear back, but sometimes I just don't hear back from anybody. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your being candid, because now that lets us know that we need to be more responsible. Because what we're hearing is that it was. We just need to make
Did anybody see it? Okay, I checked my history and I didn't find it in there, so I don't know if there was an error sending it. But also, in my opinion, something to, to this type of expense, when we know about it in advance that far, email is good, but maybe we should have had something in writing, say the last meeting. So if we've known about this for months, that we're looking at a $400,000 deal, maybe something should have been sent to the board last month and put in front of us.
Yeah.
So, on
We
paper,
did bring it to the board last board meeting where you approved the state of Georgia's authorization to purchase vehicles. It was in the last one.
So we'll
again,
check,
what am I missing?
we'll check the minutes. You check the minutes. So that we
Got a copy of.
So why are we?
Are they talking?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think we approved the deal. I think we approved looking into a deal.
You approved the authorization to procure piggyback off from the state of Georgia. And then once you approve that authorization, then I go out and get the prices and make the recommendation to the board to purchase it for $88.
Okay, so I guess that's probably where the misunderstanding is then. Okay, I thought that you meant that we already had a price for months and still hadn't approved it. Okay, all right, that's a little bit different. Okay.
Thank you so much. Very good. Just ask questions. Wonderful. The point is making sure the riders have what they need. Oh, moving right along. Did we want to hear about the report from Ms. Baker? Because she did the report as well. Ms. Baker, would you?
Yeah, I just sent the assessment that I did, and if you have any questions, answer.
Is there anything? Is there anything that stuck out? Because I did read through your report. Is there anything that you would like us to know as a board that you would like to bring
The whole thing.
But we are
Yeah,
planning.
it's a lot. That's why I gave it to you. It's a whole lot.
Okay.
So I didn't want.
Nothing in addition to that.
Yeah. Is there anything in addition?
Yeah. Oh, well, now, well, actually, I can say after meeting with Ricky and with Wright and the money situation, I am looking at things a little differently because the money is not there. So I'm like switching gears and I'm going to compliance, which is a problem. Gonna do the safety department. Because I can do a lot of those things myself because I have a safety background. So I do want to start at least making sure we're clear on safety. We need to start doing some modules for the drivers to make sure that we have all that. So that's what I'm going to do first because I can create things that we can do something. I'll have to get with LeBaron so we can get a computer set up. So every quarter they'll have to come in and do a module and sign and say that they completed. And so we'll start. I am also working with all the departments and cross training. So all departments we have cross training right now. So those are things that we're working on. More SOPs, making sure that everyone is aligned at our process. We're doing meetings. I have anyone that manages someone, they have to meet with them. We're starting our management meeting. This is going to be a team, and we have to have teamwork. So that's the way that I plan to proceed. Everything will be teamwork.
Excellent. GPTC.
Ms. Baker. Ms. Baker,
Yes.
could you give us the status of the leaks in the building and the mold?
Yes, and thank you. It's here. I actually received an email with Tiara on it, and we are working, Shirley is working on it also. Getting someone to come in and finally give us a report.
Our arms reach far. We reach across departments, reach across agencies, we can get things done. My favorite thing to say. If you want to go fast, go ahead and go by yourself, but if you want to go far, you gotta go together. And I'd love to see how we're working together. Yes.
Real quick, I am setting up, I think I already set up a meeting with Drive Clean Indiana to try to see if they have any resources, monetary resources that can be used for training purposes to particularly train the maintenance personnel on the modern technology, in particular the electric buses and the maintenance and the charging equipment. So hopefully they help purchase the electric buses. They can assist in training and financial resources that we can use to match federal dollars. I think using PM funds to train the maintenance staff, both current and incoming maintenance staff, on basically how to take care of the number of purchases.
That's good to hear. When we have it, not one thing just to have it. We don't want it just to look pretty.
Right.
We want to be able to use it, you know, how it functions, so we can use it properly. All right, so, give me just a second. I would like to make a motion to accept the department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Excellent, excellent. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your time and your effort. Team GPTC, that's it. Team GPTC. It's t-shirt. All right, so now, we're gonna move on to old business. Business. We have any old business to discuss? No? There's nothing to discuss. We'll move right along. All right, new business.
I'm gonna go first, Ms. Johnson, right?
No, it's you. You have four.
I know you had a couple too.
No,
All right, so we have multiple resolutions here to address several concerning issues that we've been experiencing as GPTC over the last several months. First resolution, and I have to read these whole things out, you know, according to Robert's Rules of Order, so bear with me. Anybody else wants to read? And you want to read? There you go. Good, thank you.
Excellent. A resolution establishing a digital board document access system for the Gary Public Transportation Corporation Board of Directors. Whereas GPTC Board of Directors is responsible for the governance, oversight, and stewardship of GPTC, and whereas excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna read fast, but I'm gonna read clear so that we all understand what we're asking to be established. So for section 1, we want establishment of a digital board document repository. GPTC shall establish and maintain a secure electronic document repository accessible to all current members of the board of directors. Such repository may be maintained through Microsoft 365, SharePoint, OneDrive, or another secure digital platform approved by the board. The responsibility for maintenance. The board secretary shall be
That's how you want me to read that all.
everyone shall be responsible for ensuring that all board records and materials required for this resolution are maintained within the digital repository. The board secretary shall work in cooperation with GPTC, information technology, and I don't mind, personnel and administrative staff to ensure the repository remains organized, secure, accessible, and up to date. The digital required documents. The digital repository shall include at a minimum GPTC articles of incorporation, enabling statutes, and organizational documents. We want that digital. We want the GPTC Board of Directors bylaws and amendments, GPTC handbook and all policy manuals, board policies, resolutions, and governance documents, board meeting agendas, approved board meeting minutes, including historical minutes to the extent available, committee meeting agendas and minutes, monthly, quarterly, and annual financial reports presented to the board, general manager reports and departmental reports submitted to the board, digital. Annual budgets, audits, and audit responses, contract agreements, and other documents presented for board approval except where prohibited by law or attorney-client privilege. Board member orientation materials and training resources. All documents regularly distributed within board meeting binders or board packets, and any additional records or materials deemed appropriate by the board of directors. Timeliness of updates. Board packets, reports, resolutions, financial documents, and supporting materials shall be uploaded to the repository as soon as responsibly practicable after preparation and 72 hours prior to the meeting at which such materials will be considered. So we would like these materials 72 hours prior to our meeting. Approved meeting minutes shall be uploaded promptly following board approval. Security and confidentiality. The digital repository shall utilize reasonable security measures, including password protection. Access shall be limited to current board members, authorized GPTC staff, legal counsel, and other authorized by the board. Nothing in this resolution shall require the electronic distribution of records protected by attorney-client privilege, executive session confidentiality requirements, personnel confidentiality laws, cybersecurity restrictions, or other applicable legal protections. Transition. The board secretary, with assistance from GPTC staff and information technology personnel, shall begin compiling and digitizing records as soon as practicable following adoption of this resolution. Priority shall be given to governing documents, current board materials, financial boards, board members, and other records necessary for board oversight and governance. The purpose of this resolution is to improve board efficiency, strengthen governance, enhance institutional knowledge, reduce administrative burdens, and ensure board members have practical access to the information necessary to carry out duties and responsibilities. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. Okay, and that is it. Is there any discussion regarding this? I just read the resolution. Okay. Is there a motion? Second. Is there any discussion? Sure, I would like to make a discussion. I would like to say, I do not think that you can govern the board secretary, which is my take on such a large project. Now, I'm willing to assist, absolutely, but to govern it that way. So moved. All right, take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Nay. So moved. We need digital records, and that's really good for everyone. can easily access our bylaws, the information that you need, training materials.
A resolution establishing an employee communication and chain of command policy. Give all the whereas. Therefore, let it be resolved by the Board of Directors of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation as follows. All GPTC employees shall utilize established internal reporting procedures and supervisory channels when raising workplace concerns, operational issues, personal complaints, safety concerns, or requests for corrective action. Employees shall first report concerns to their immediate supervisor unless circumstances reasonably require reporting to a higher level of management, human resources, the general manager, or the board to establish procedures. No employee shall represent that they are speaking on behalf of GPTC, the board of directors, or GPTC management unless specifically authorized to do so. Employees shall conduct themselves professionally in all public communications concerning GPTC and shall refrain from knowingly making false statements regarding GPTC operations, employees, management, or board members. Employees are reminded that GPTC is governed by its board of directors and that operational concerns should be directed through GPTC's internal management structure rather than through external political channels for the purpose of obtaining operational directives or management decisions. Nothing in this resolution shall be interpreted to prohibit or restrict any employee from reporting alleged violations of law, reporting fraud, waste, abuse, safety violations, discrimination, harassment, or misconduct, communicating with law enforcement, regulatory agencies, auditors, inspectors, elected officials, unions, attorneys, or other entities when such communication is protected by federal, state, or local law. Let's see here, or exercising rights protected by law. Failure to follow established internal reporting procedures for routine workplace matters may be addressed through applicable personnel policies and disciplinary procedures. Yet further resolved, this policy shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the board of directors.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved. Aye. The board hereby authorizes the procurement of an independent external accounting and auditing firm with no current or recent financial relationship with GPTC to conduct a comprehensive financial audit and review. Scope of the review. The audit shall include but not be limited to examination of all financial records for fiscal year 24, 2025, and 2026. Verification of cash balances, bank reconciliation, accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll records, debt obligations, and rent funding. Review of pension and retirement account administration, including employee and employer contributions, remittances, transfers, and compliance with applicable requirements. Examination of procurement and contracting activities, including but not limited to transactions involving billing, Midwest Bus, Greyhound-related operations, municipal agreements, and other major capital or operational expenditures. Review of all federal, state, and local grant compliance requirements, assessment of internal control, segregation of duties, accounting procedures, financial reporting systems, and governance practices, identification of any suspected fraud, waste, abuse, misappropriation, unauthorized transactions, or material weaknesses in financial control. Preservation of records. The board directs management and all employees to preserve all financial records, in electronic records, emails, contracts, accounting software data, payroll records, pension records, grant files, and related documentation pending completion of the audit. No record shall be altered, destroyed, deleted, or otherwise modified except as required by law. Access to information. The selected auditing firm shall be granted full access to all records, personnel, contractors, consultants, and financial systems necessary to complete its work. Reporting requirements. The auditing firm shall provide a preliminary findings report to the board within 90 days of engagement. A final written report identifying findings, deficiencies, recommendations, and corrective action. Immediate notification to the board president and corporation counsel of any evidence indicating potential criminal conduct, fraud, embezzlement, grant violations, or significant financial irregularity. Corrective action plan. Upon receipt of the final report, the board shall develop and implement a corrective action plan addressing all identified deficiencies and recommendations. So motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? No? I think an internal audit is great for our expert. Okay. So all in favor, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
I think this one will probably require roll call because it's changing the bylaws. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing on this one, just so the general public can understand why we're changing, motion to change the bylaws here. Not necessary? Okay. Right, well, yeah. All right, therefore, let it be resolved by the Board of Directors of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation as follows. A resolution establishing the duties of the board president, vice president, and board secretary of the Gary Public Transportation Corporation. Board president shall serve as principal presiding officer of the board and shall be responsible for presiding over all board meetings, over all meetings of the board of directors, establishing meeting agendas in consultation with the general manager, board secretary, legal counsel, and other board members as appropriate, serving as the primary liaison between the board and the general manager, coordinating board activities and governance functions, executing documents authorized by board action, appointing committees subject to board approval when required, serving as the primary spokesperson of the board regarding board actions unless another representative is designated, ensuring the board directives and resolutions are communicated to management, working with legal counsel regarding governance matters affecting the board, performing other such duties as assigned by the board. Board president shall not be responsible for day-to-day operation of GPTC except as specifically authorized by board action. Section 2, creation of the office of vice president. The office of vice president is hereby established. The vice president shall be elected by the board of directors and shall serve at the pleasure of the board. Duties of vice president. Vice president shall assist the president in carrying out the duties of the office, preside over board meetings in the absence of the president, coordinate board committees and special projects as assigned by the president of the board, monitor the status of board directives, resolutions, and action items, assist with board member orientation and governance matters, perform such additional duties as assigned by the board. In the absence, disability, resignation, removal, or vacancy of the president, the vice president shall assume the duties of the president until a successor is elected or appointed. Section 4, elected board secretary. The elected board secretary shall serve as the governance and records officer of the board and shall be responsible for ensuring the accuracy and preservation of board records, certifying resolutions, minutes, and official board actions, maintaining custody of official board records and governance documents, verifying compliance with board notice requirements and meeting procedures, coordinating board communications, ensuring that board members have access to governing documents, bylaws, resolutions, policies, meeting materials, and board records, overseeing the maintenance of the board's digital document repository. I assumed that was going to go through. Working with legal counsel and management to obtain complete, accurate board records, reporting governance related to issues to the board. Section 5, the paid administrative board secretary position. Board recognizes the existence of a paid administrative board secretary position. The paid administrative board secretary shall operate under the direction of the board and shall provide administrative support, including preparation and distribution of meeting notices, preparation and distribution of agendas and board packets, recording and preparation of board minutes, maintenance of board files and archives, scheduling and administrative coordination, assistance with records retention and document management, other clerical and administrative duties as assigned by the board. Paid Administrative board secretary shall not supersede the authority of the elected board secretary regarding governance, certification of records, or official board actions. Board recognizes that effective governance requires participation of all directors and that no single officer shall be expected to independently manage all governance, compliance, financial, legal, operational, or strategic oversight responsibilities of the corporation. Long story short, just trying to take, some of the burden off of our board president, because there's been a lot of things going on, and also our bylaws aren't very specific when it comes to, our current bylaws aren't very specific when it comes to a lot of duties. And so we're going to try to relieve some burden here with this. That's the purpose of it.
So moved.
Like, I'm ready to go.
Right.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Question.
Aye.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
In your reading, did you say that Vice President will coordinate committees?
No. So,
I thought I heard you say that.
no, it doesn't coordinate. I think what you're probably looking for.
I thought I heard you were coordinate.
As assigned by the board, by the president or the board. Yeah, so the vice president, with this resolution, the vice president does not assume any of the president's duties, or excuse me, does not take any power from the president. The vice president's job is to assist the president as the president needs. So if board president Goffin were to give a responsibility to whatever vice president we elect off of his plate, then that vice president would take that on. Or if the board said, hey, we want to take this off of board president Goffin, then whoever is elected as that vice president would assume that duty. So just kind of trying to redistribute some of the burden.
All right. All in favor? Well, is there any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, we got, we
We
did.
got the
we
motion.
already did the motion.
Johnson and Carr.
Okay.
Wait a minute,
Say it again.
You gotta vote.
I was gonna abstain on that.
You're gonna abstain?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Well, we do a roll call. We said we're gonna do a roll call anyway, actually. Just do a roll call.
Secretary Williams,
I vote yes.
Board Member Baker,
Yes.
Member Carr,
Yes.
Member McKenzie,
Abstain.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
and Member Ruby.
Yes.
You have 5 yeses?
With 5 yeses and 1
Abstention.
abstention. Abstention.
All right.
1 abstention, motion carried.
All right. And then there's one last one. This one's a short one. There you go.
Oh,
Hey, I had time to get some things done. What
yes,
can I
you
say?
did have time. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
A resolution establishing legal communication protocols for the Gary Public Transportation Corporation. So now therefore, be it resolved, Section 1, recognition of corporate counsel. The board reaffirms that GPTC legal counsel serves as the corporation's official legal representative and advisor on legal matters affecting GPTC. Legal communication. Whenever legal issues, legal disputes, claims, threatened litigation, contract disputes, statutory interpretation, governance matters, or other legal matters affecting GPTC arise, GPTC's official communications shall be coordinated through GPTC legal counsel. Board member responsibilities. Board members shall not independently provide official legal positions, legal interpretations, legal opinions, or legal commitments on behalf of GPTC unless authorized by the board and in consultation with legal counsel. Board members receiving legal communications concerning GPTC shall promptly notify GPTC legal counsel and the board president. Communication with outside governmental entities. The board requests that governmental entities, including the city of Gary, the mayor's office, the common council, and their representatives, communicate directly with the GPTC legal counsel regarding legal matters involving GPTC whenever practicable. Nothing in this resolution shall prohibit, routine administrative, operational, or governmental communications unrelated to legal matters. Preservation of legal rights. The purpose of this resolution is to protect GPTC's legal interests, maintain consistency in legal communications, preserve attorney-client privilege where applicable, reduce misunderstandings, and ensure that GPTC receives the benefit of professional legal representation. A motion.
So moved.
Discussion.
Oh, y'all. Teamwork.
No.
That's it? No? All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. It passes. Any other resolutions that you?
I have, no, I'm just joking.
She didn't, I don't have it. Oh, yeah. So they need a
All
copy.
right. Is there any other new business?
Oh,
Public
comments.
Oh, public comments. Anyone have anything to say to us? Anyone have anything?
Teamwork.
to say? I love it. Anyone? There are no public comments at this time? With no public comment. I would like to motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all so much for your time.
I think I wore them all out. Nobody wanted to talk.
First, I'm gonna see if we can introduce it.